There are some things in life that are on a need-to-know basis, and I feel that the content in this video is a need-to-know basis, but YouTube feels for ad suitability that it is not. So I'm going to do this video, and it may be one of the last ones that I do. Basic, simple disassembly of a handgun. I'll give you a couple of different types. This is primarily what you would be doing when you're getting ready to clean a firearm, getting ready to clean a semi-automatic handgun. So first off, we're going to start with is my personal everyday carry. It's a Springfield Armory, chambered in 45 ACP. Now, all the same rules for firearm safety apply. First thing you need to do is make sure that the firearm is unloaded. So that's the slide lock. Push that up, keeps the slide open. This way I know that there's nothing in the chamber, there's no magazine in there. This is the takedown lever. You go from the 9 o'clock position up to the 12 o'clock position. Now on this model, once you've done that, you get the slide a little bit of a pullback and you bring the lever down and it'll come forward. The design requires you to pull the trigger, which is the other reason why you want to make sure that there's not a round in the chamber or a magazine in there. Once that's done, the slide and the frame can be separated. So the frame by itself is the primary thing that when you're cleaning, you're going to be looking at three key areas. This area here along the rails, you'd add a little bit of oil. The area down here in the feed ramp area, you want to make sure that it's dust free and there's no debris or any buildup in there. So you want to get in there. And then very carefully the same area up in here along this back end for oil. You don't have to soak it, just a couple of drops, and that'll take care of that. Now with the slide, what you have left is the slide itself, the recoil spring, and then the barrel. The way they're fitted in, a little bit of pressure going this way on the recoil spring separates. Then you have the barrel itself. You can pull it forward. Another thing you can also do is this is the top. Just give it a little push up with your finger and the barrel comes out. And then you have the slide by itself. And again, for just general cleaning, get in there, any dirt, dust, and debris along the inside edges of the rail, clean those out. Down in this area, same thing, and just 1 or 2 drops of oil, and it's good to go. Now reassembly, just as easy. Frame, barrel, back in, so it's down in like that. Recoil spring, give a little push, locks in. Take the frame back into the slide. You're going to line it up along these edges, guide it back, take down lever, locking it up with a slide lock, moving it to the 1 o'clock position or the 9 o'clock position, release, and it's done. That version, striker fire. Next up, single action only, 1911. This one is my Magnum Research Desert Eagle 1911, chambered in 45 also. Some of the basic procedures are still going to be the same. So again, you want to make sure no magazine in there. No rounds chambered. That's your slide lock lever there. Now on this version, this little nub sticks out. What you're going to be doing is there are 2 small notches, this small one here and this one here. You want to, while pushing in on that nub, bringing the slide back just a little bit harder to do this end. I'll show you that little notched area there. And you have the slide lock lever. Now at this point, you can see that's been removed. At the front end, this is the recoil spring cap. This is the barrel lug. The bushing is fixed into the cap. You push the cap down because the spring for the recoil spring is underneath. Turning this to this position, and you got to be careful because it is under tension. Pull off the cap, pull out the spring. Now, in there, that's the guide rod. You can then turn this to this position here, which will allow you to remove the barrel. That comes off like that. Slide it forward. You separated the frame. Guide rod. Barrel slides out. And there you go. Now again, you're looking to clean. Brush, clean out any grit, any dirt, any debris in this area. A little bit of oil along there. Reassembly. Simple, easy process. And again, when you're cleaning the barrel, pushing out any debris from the rear to the end of the muzzle, you look to reassemble, slide it in, take the guide rod, that little crescent rests underneath the barrel that way. You then go and you take the lug cap, slips on, slide it over, recoil spring, guide it back, put the cap on. It's a little easier doing it this way. Guide it down, and again, you got to make sure you hang on to it because it will take off. Clicks into place. Make sure that's sitting up like there. Take your frame, and again, right along the side of the rails, line it up, guide it back, give it a little wiggle. Push the pin through. Now, see that right there? Line it up. What you need to do is that smaller notch, you get it back towards it. Locks in. Safety on. Good to go. Alright, this is a Springfield Armory XDE. It's 9mm. It is a double action, so it is not like the Striker Fire or the single action. What that means is with this particular one, if you have a round loaded in the chamber, and let me just show you that we're clear. So no round loaded, but if a round were to be loaded in the chamber, the hammer's back. Right now, safety is off, and with pretty much all firearms, as an industry standard, the red is an indicator that the safety is off, and you can think about it like this. Red, you're dead. That pretty much simply, if you have a firearm that has a safety, red is the indicator that they use to show that the safety is off. So you just think about that. So now, the hammer back, pulling the trigger would then drop the hammer. With the safety on, pulling the trigger would not allow it to drop. This has a decocker, which then drops the hammer without allowing it to engage the firing pin, firing off the gun. Now for this one, pretty much the same thing. You've got the decocking or the takedown lever, you've got the slide lock. So again, you're going to lock it open like that, move the takedown lever to the vertical position. Now where this Springfield differs from the other Springfield is once it's in that position and I bring the slide forward, I don't need to pull the trigger to separate the frame and the slide. Once that's done, everything else is exactly the same. So you have the recoil spring, comes out, you have the barrel, pop that out, and the same principle, get inside, brush out any dirt, any grit, a little bit of oil, clean down inside the barrel, you go to reassemble, drop that in, recoil rod, put that through, same thing, expecting a little bit of oil, do a little cleaning in there, line them up, slide them back, locking it in place, bringing it forward, and that's done. Bonus. Good old-fashioned revolver. Nothing wrong with them. This one, it's my Ruger SP101. It's 5 rounds. Now this one, the cylinder release is right here. It's a little button, you push it in, cylinder opens up. With revolvers, you don't take apart anything. To do just a cleaning, that's all you need. Have it open, make sure it's not loaded, and you're simply working your cleaning pads inside, clearing that out. Maybe just a little bit of oil inside the area of the extractor rod area, and that's really about it. Now that works on single action, double action. It also works on double action only, which is this little guy here, Smith & Wesson. Same principle, cleaning inside the cylinder, maybe a little bit of oil inside the ejector rod area, but other than that, just down the barrel, and that's all you need. Even on a large jobby like the Governor from Smith & Wesson, same principle. Pop it open, clean everything on the inside, good to go. So for those of you that are looking at getting firearms and you're using them for self-protection, understanding the basics of firearm safety and also understanding the basics of how to properly care for your firearm, which also will help prevent accidents that you may have, because if you're cleaning improperly or you fail to clean it at all, there are a greater increase of chances that the firearm may malfunction when you actually need to use it, when you need it to save your life or the life of another. So having a basic understanding of how to handle and clean a semi-automatic firearm or a revolver or any other type of handgun, learning that is one of the key things that you need to be able to do, aside from just simply owning the gun and saying, well, I've got the gun, I'm all protected, I'm all set. Practicing, maintaining safe discipline with the firearm, and getting to know the ins and outs of the different situations that you may encounter while using your firearm are all part of the whole package deal. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll catch you in the next one.